The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. On behalf of NIC, I'd like to thank you for joining us for the first time attendee webinar for our 2019 NIC Spring Forum. My name is Renee Stoll, and I will be your moderator today. Now, before we get started, I just want to go through a few housekeeping notes so you know how to participate in today's event. Now, if you join the webinar using your computer, those speakers will be used by default. If you'd like to change that option and listen over the telephone, you may do so by choosing phone call in the audio section of the GoToWebinar control panel. Now, to minimize background noise, your audio is set to listen-only mode, which mutes all participant lines. The speakers will be happy to answer questions at the end of the presentation, but feel free to submit those at any time during the webinar by typing those into the questions panel. Now, finally, if you are experiencing any technical issues, such as lost audio during the webinar, please submit those also in the questions pane as well, and we will be notified, and we will work with you certainly to get that resolved. Now, let's introduce our panelists who are NIC pros. You've probably seen them at a few events or seen them online, and ready to give you the insight you need to get the most value out of your time at the fall conference. First, we have my good friend, Bree Grubbs, who is the Senior Vice President for New Business for Leisure Care, a hospitality-focused senior housing management company based in Seattle, Washington. Now, since joining the Leisure Care family in 2005, Bree has held several roles and now leads the company's market research, feasibility, and new business efforts. In her role, she focuses on working with Leisure Care's partners to assess all new business developments and acquisition opportunities, leading the feasibility, business planning, and underwriting process to ensure partners have the information they need to make sound business decisions and communities are set up for success. From 2011 through 2014, Bree was a member of NIC's Future Leaders Council and is now a member of the National Planning Committee. Bree also dedicates time to several philanthropic organizations and is a board member for Treehouse, an organization which provides educational advocacy and other services to foster children. Bree graduated from Washington State University with a BA in Business Administration. She also holds an accounting certificate from the University of Washington. Hi, Bree.
Hi, Renee. Hi, everyone.
So nice to have you here. Now we also have Ben Firestone. Ben is a founding partner and senior managing director at Blueprint Healthcare Real Estate Advisors, a leading advisory firm exclusively focused on seniors housing and healthcare real estate. Ben is responsible for managing established relationships as well as new client development. He is also a driving force behind corporate strategy and serves as the managing broker for the firm. With over a decade in the seniors housing and care industry, Ben has structured over $2 billion in skilled nursing and seniors housing real estate transactions. He is an active member of the National Investment Center for Seniors Housing and Care Future Leaders Council. Ben holds a bachelor's degree in economics from the University of Michigan and an MBA from the University of Chicago Booth School of Business. Hi, Ben. Nice to see you here.
Hi, Renee. Thanks for having me today.
Excellent. Thanks so much for joining us. I do want to get into our topics that we're going to be discussing, but before we get there, I want to let everyone know we will have two polls throughout the webinar today. We're going to go with the first poll, which is, our first poll is going to be talking about why you plan on attending the NIC event. So please go ahead and answer that poll question for us. Why you will be attending the NIC conference. Is it for insights on seniors housing healthcare collaboration, to seek investment deals as an investor, or to seek capital investment as a provider? Please go ahead and answer those poll questions. All right, now that we've had a moment to answer the poll questions, let's jump right into the spring conference. Oh, look, we have our answers already. Great. So it looks like most people are on the webinar today are looking forward to NIC Spring Forum to find insights on the seniors housing and healthcare collaboration. 74%, that's quite a bit. Also, we have some people seeking investment deals as an investor and those who are seeking capital investment as a provider. So excellent. Good to know that we have a lot of diverse groups here on the webinar today. Now let's jump into, there we go, our slides. We're going to be going through our agenda will be how to prepare for the conference, what to do once you arrive on site, because there's a lot of prep you need when you first go to this conference. It really helps you out to know as much information as possible. We're going to be going through the best ideas and resources that will make it so you can meet the people you need to meet, and then also keep the momentum after the conference. We're also going to be having those frequently asked questions, and you can go ahead and submit those anytime in the question panel as well. Now, first, to go over the game plan, Bree, you are an NIC pro. This is NIC, first of all, is unlike any other conference. It really is a unique conference. You're going to be in front of about 58% of the attendees who are going to be the decision makers. They're going to be the senior level executives that you want to get in front of, but you don't always get the chance to, but you will hear at this conference. So tell us a little bit, Bree, ahead of time, what you need to do to prepare for this.
Absolutely. I've been attending NIC, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years now. I think this is my 8th year of attending NICs. And the times that the conferences have been most successful for me are when I have done these 5 things. And I know we're all very busy in our day-to-day jobs, but taking part of a day out and getting organized and doing these things will ensure that you have the best conference possible. So the first thing that I would recommend is download the Nik Mobile App. This app has evolved a ton over the last few years and really is your one-stop shop for everything that you need. As we'll talk about later, you'll need to carry some things around, but minimizing what you need and having almost everything on your device will make your life a lot simpler. Look, Ben's already done it. Mr. Preparedness. So download the app. It's got your conference schedule, your attendee listing, your speaker presentations and handouts will be uploaded there, as well as maps and things to guide you around the venue. After you do that, use that attendee list to help you schedule meetings in advance. I cannot overstate how difficult it is to plan the logistics of your days. Meetings will run long, meetings won't happen, and so as much pre-planning as you can do to schedule meetings, figure out who's going to be there, and introduce yourself ahead of time will allow you to plan your days and make the most of your time. And then from there, build your schedule. Plan for your meetings, use the How to Click It NIC checklist, and then spread the word, tweet, and share your attendance. One thing as you're building your schedule, and we'll talk about this in just a few minutes, is to leave time for sessions. And in planning for your meetings, the one thing that is of most importance is to figure out how you want to talk about yourself and your organization. If you are looking for capital, if you are an operator, if you are an architect, figure out how in 1 minute you can communicate what differentiates you, why it is, what makes you special, and why you should have a follow-up call after the conference. Because a lot of deals get started at the conference and a lot of them finish up in the weeks and months that follow. So know what differentiates you and be able to articulate that concisely, because some of your meetings may only be 15 or 20 minutes long.
Okay. We ready to talk about what happens on site when you get to the conference? We'll go right ahead then. I think we might be on mute. But listen, the first thing I like to do when I get to the conference, and the Hilton Bayfront in San Diego is a great hotel, a great location for the conference because it's compact and everything that you need to be successful at the NIC conference is right there in front of you. But what I like to do first is I like to familiarize myself with the place, the hotel. So at the Hilton, everything from the lobby level up to about floor 4, the concourse there, that's where you're going to need to know where everything is. You're going to have to figure out where the sessions and networking lounges are, where the different meetup points are. So I'd like to get a little bit through the hotel, walk the grounds a little bit so I know where I'm going, like Bree said, so you can maximize your time. Now, the other thing I like to do right when I get there is understand who's going to be there, right? You got your list of folks that you already have meetings with, but then there's all sorts of people you want to meet. So if you look at the different badges will represent what different pieces of the industry each attendee represents. So red, you're going to have your operators, orange, your developers, yellow, you're going to have your insurance providers, green, more of your capital providers, and then black is going to be advisory services for the most part. So understand who people are. Don't be afraid to introduce yourself based on who you are within the industry and who they are. And then the next thing is just really make as much hay and take advantage of all the networking opportunities the conference has in store. So certainly of note, the Newbie Power Hour, the first-time attendee Power Hour. So for 10 or 15 minutes, Nick staff will give you the orientation speech, but then you're going to go out and meet people that are there just like you, people that are tuning in right now to this call and are looking to meet people. You're looking to meet people, and hopefully y'all can meet up and get acquainted with the people that are just getting reacquainted with the conference there. Other noteworthy networking opportunities, the welcome reception, always a good spot to meet as many people as you possibly can. Virtually the whole conference will be in one room at one time. There are networking breakfasts. There's an additional networking reception the second full night, where you can meet the capital seekers or the capital providers, depending on who you are and what you're looking to accomplish. So really amazing networking opportunities. That's really half of what you're there to do. Now the other half, Bree is going to tell you about. She's going to tell you about the sessions and the education part of the program.
Absolutely. Thanks, Ben. As I referenced earlier, sessions are a huge part of the conference and one to absolutely take advantage of. This NIC, there will be 2 general sessions and 14 breakout sessions. The breakout sessions, make sure you review that list in detail, whether you are looking for insight into cap rates or operations or just want an update on sort of the vibe of the economy. NIC always has sessions that cover what you're interested in. So make sure you review the schedule and put those into your calendar so you make sure you make those. A couple of highlights this year. The opening general session is 6 weeks into a new Congress. Where are healthcare and senior care headed? I think we're all intrigued in how the Congress and political environment impact our industry, and so that will be a great opportunity to get some insight there, as well as the conference luncheon. One of my favorites and personal passions, even though I'm not good at it personally, is Economists and Futurists, and so the conference luncheon will feature a healthcare futurist, and he will talk about the future of the healthcare marketplace and what's next. In addition to that, NIC has added some specialty programs, including a hackathon and some small group discussions led by industry experts. So with all of that, you may be thinking, gosh, I'm going to have some busy days. And you are absolutely right. Busier than you can even imagine. The first year I went to NIC, I planned poorly because I packed really cute shoes, not really practical shoes. So as you are thinking about your days and planning your days, I highly recommend building in some breaks, especially if you are staying on site. plan a couple of half-hour windows where you can sneak back up to your room, slip your shoes off, and answer some emails or make some phone calls so you don't get behind at work, because work doesn't stop just because we're at the conference. And then make sure you also plan enough time between meetings. The hotel is big, and your meetings may be on different floors, and so plan that travel time. What I see a lot of people do is book a meeting from 12 to 12:30 and a meeting from 12:30 to 1, and they're then texting me at 12:35 going, I'm on my way, I can't find you. So definitely make that, plan that travel time into your schedule, and then make sure you have contact information for the people that you're meeting with, because inevitably you will run late at least once. If you're not, call me, because I want your tips.
Thanks so much for that, Bree. I can't agree with you more, because there's so many times that you think you can make it to the next meeting and then you realize you're not sure what floor that meeting was even on. So excellent advice there. There's also some really great on-site resources. There are 2 networking lounges where they are set up so you can meet with your people there. You can have meetings there. You can also have a little bit of quiet space. They're set up also so you can have quiet space, go over your notes, get ready for your next meeting. There's a conference concierge. There's also a LinkedIn corner where you're going to get tips on how to make your LinkedIn profile look the best it can actually look. The tech bar is one of my favorites. You get assistance with your mobile devices, and also NIC Mobile App advice to go along with that as well. There's the Headshot Lounge where you can refresh your headshot, get a new headshot for your LinkedIn page. There's Nik TV, which if you see me walking around with a camera crew and a microphone, please say hi to me, because I'm probably looking to talk to newbies it's their first time at the conference, and I'm looking to get some information from you to see how it's going for you as well. Now, I'd also like to go to our next poll that we have, if we can put up that poll. The next poll is one important thing you'd like to know about the spring conference. Are you looking for networking tips and resources? Are you preparing for meetings? What do you expect about the pace of the conference? And how is NIC conference different from other conferences? So if you can go ahead and vote on that. All right, let's see the results of that. Oh, it looks like we have quite a few people who are looking for networking tips and resources. You will not be shy on those. There will be plenty of networking tips and resources available for you. And then we have quite a few people who are looking to see how the NIC conference is different from other conferences. I can certainly tell you that it is a one-of-a-kind conference. There's going to be almost 300 new attendees. It's going to be a very busy time for you there. And we have people who are looking to prepare for meetings and what to expect at the pace of the conference, even there at 8%. Thanks so much for voting in that. Now we're going to go on to our next topic, which is going to be post-conference. So now you've been to the conference, you've done all your work at the conference, and now we want to make sure you keep the momentum going after the conference. That's really where the work comes in, so you can have the conference work for you. So Ben and Bree, can you please talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. There are so many things that you can do afterwards, and quite honestly really should do. Ben, I feel like, is an expert and has taught me a thing or two about how to follow up afterwards. But one of the easy ways you can do that is following the event. You can access session recordings, videos, pictures, session recaps using the hashtag ICYMI in case you missed it. And then we also ask that you share feedback and notes. There will be opportunities to complete surveys. And as a person who has worked in market research for a majority of my adult life, I know nobody wants to do them. However, the conference gets better every year because of the people who take time to fill out the surveys and give feedback on the content, the environment, and what's important to you. So please take a few moments, fill out surveys when you have the opportunity, and give us the feedback that we need. And then the one thing that I think Ben really excels at is following up with contacts. You want to talk about your strategy there, Ben?
Sure. So my philosophy has been, even though you have all these interactions, there's no tangible value unless you follow up, right? Because everyone's so busy. I've had as many as 50 distinct meetings at a NIC event. So really critical, like Bree said, take notes. I always like to put something personal in the notes so I remember some of the interaction I had, and then you can follow up in a meaningful way instead of just robotically. So the other thing I do, I challenge my team all the time, is to collect as many business cards as you possibly can. Everyone's out there, they have their contact info. Collect the business cards, maybe even jot down something unique that you had, a conversation with that person on the back of the card. But when in doubt, if you didn't get the business card, you have all sorts of resources, including the app, to go back and get contact information if you don't have it. But critical, I think, to the whole experience and extracting as much value that can be had out of the conference is good follow-up. So again, take notes, make sure you remember who you met, be present. You're going to meet a lot of people. There's a lot of parties, lack of sleep. Like Bree said, you're going to be on your feet a lot. It's exhausting, but make the most out of your time when you're there and be sure to practice good follow-up.
Since we have so many folks who are really interested into the networking side of it, and really the spring conference, there's nothing like it for networking, especially for newbies and first-time attendees. We have a few events that are on deck. One is going to be the first-time attendee power hour. That's going to be from 12:30 to 1:30. There's going to be about 15 minutes that are just going to be for, you're going to get tips on how to network during the event. And then for about 45 minutes, there's going to be time for you to really talk to other people who it's their first time at this event as well. Bree, can you add a little bit to that? Because I know that you've met people at this conference and you've continued to network with them for many years to come.
Absolutely. So my first NIC, I was the only person from my company in attendance, and I knew 0 people. And back then, there was not the new attendee power hour, so I would have loved to have that opportunity to meet people who were in the same boat. Luckily, I met a few people who had the same kind of look on their face that I did, which was, will you talk to me in this room of 1,000 people? And they have not only become lifelong friends, but people we have done business with who I can call on for advice as other operators. I met Ben at a NIC conference, so it doesn't get better than that. And I read all of the deals that he brings to the table, and hopefully one day we'll be successful in winning one of them. So there are so many opportunities to meet new people, engage, and build lifelong relationships and get deals done. But it starts with setting yourself up for success, and the new attendee power hour is a way to meet people who are in the same boat as you, who you may do business with, or who may know people in their organizations or other organizations that can get you the connections you need.
And Ben, I know that you have no problem networking. You're a great networker. What kind of tips could you give our first-time attendees?
Well, I think number one, Renee, I just get excited about NIC. It's really fun. It's a unique thing that happens really twice a year where everyone in the industry, from all corners of the industry, get in one location and get together. So I would say get excited. I'd also say don't be scared. Like Bree said, everyone's there for the same reason. They're looking to meet new people, explore new opportunities. No one's going to be offended or insulted if you go up and introduce yourself and say, hey, I'm Ben. What are you up to? I want to learn more about what you're doing in the industry. People appreciate that. So be a good listener, introduce yourself, don't be scared, and get excited and show that enthusiasm. I think those are the keys to success.
Everybody is in the same mindset when they go to this. Everybody is there to network, so it's nothing out of the ordinary. You will certainly be meeting a lot of people there. I also want to reiterate that the how to click at NIC, you need to be on the lookout for the checklist. It's going to be coming in your email. That checklist will help you prepare for meetings. There's so many resources in the app. If you haven't downloaded the app, please go ahead and get the app now. There's video tutorials in the app. There's contacts in the app. You can familiarize yourself with some of the events that you'd like to go to. You can go ahead and start filling your calendar. I will tell you that a lot of folks will, ahead of the event, will go ahead and start setting up meetings. So you want to be doing the same thing so you can set up some of these meetings as well. Anything else you want to add to that?
One recommendation I will make if you're using the app to set up meetings is be really thoughtful in who you send meeting requests to. The one way that I will guarantee you I will probably not have a meeting with someone is if they send it to 42 different people in one email who all do different things, or if they haven't taken just a few minutes to make sure that I am the most reasonable person from my organization to talk to. So again, with sort of that prep work comes with being really thoughtful about what you're asking of people and spending people's time.
Very true, Bree. Thank you for adding that. Also, if you want to look for the app, if you haven't already downloaded, please go to the App Store and search for NIC Spring Conference in the App Store, and you'll be able to find the app. Now, we do have some questions that come up that I would certainly like us to dive into. One of them, it might seem basic, but it's really great pointers that each of you can give is, what is the dress code? Ben, I'll let you take the gentleman. Bree, why don't you start with the ladies?
Sure. Well, I guess I forgot my dress code today. I was preparing for Siberia and wore long underwear. But I always like to plan out what I'm going to wear so I don't get stressed out, bring enough shirts, maybe an extra. You like to dress to impress, so make sure you got your suits. It's an upscale environment. Not every day at the spring conference does someone wear a suit and tie, but still, it's business professional or business casual, not jeans and a t-shirt. So I like to also wear things that are memorable. That's my little strategy, so that people say, "Oh, who's that guy that wore the nice pocket square?" Something like that, just so you don't look like the next guy in a blue blazer and khaki pants. But something that's well put together and represents you and your again, one time that you get together in person, 1 or 2 times a year, when most of the time, at least in my business, I'm on the phone with people. So try to dress to impress, and then I think where you hit the nail on the head, wear comfortable shoes, because you're going to be on your feet all day, a lot of walking, and make sure that those cute shoes, you bring them out at night perhaps, but make sure you got some comfy ones to run around all day in.
And for ladies, you won't see as many full suits, certainly at the spring conference. I would say most ladies probably wear a dress or slacks and a blouse. And in addition to making sure your shoes are comfortable, I pack 2 pairs, because regardless of how comfortable they are, you want to switch up where the pressure points are, quite honestly, with the heel, or pack a pair of flats for going out and walking. San Diego's very walkable, so a lot of your activities in the evening for dinners and things like that will be walkable, and so you'll want the ability to be able to do that. And then just like Ben, although it's not representative today in my black dress, I am also one who tends to choose something that makes it easier to find me in a crowd. So whether that's a bright color or something like that, it's something that when we're in a networking area with 100 people, I can say I'm the one with the blue blazer on, or the pink dress, or whatever that is.
Thank you so much. Also, when you're going to a lot of these sessions, you'll find that the rooms can be quite chilly, so you want to make sure that you prepare for that and have some kind of jacket available, so you're not freezing and you get to really enjoy the conference. And also, it's going to be a little bit chilly there while we're there, so please do that. Also, when you're talking about meeting people, Bree, one of the things that I think is really great about NIC are these meetup points. So what you'll see is you'll be walking around and you'll see all of a sudden a poster or a sign, and it'll say meetup point 2. And those meetup points make it easy for you to be able to see, to let your meeting know, hey, I'm at meetup point 2. Well, they can open up their app and they can find exactly what floor and what location meeting point 2 is at. So it makes it a lot easier than saying, hey, I'm in the black dress next to the elevator. Okay, well, there's a few of those. So So that makes it a lot easier when you want to meet up with people. Now we also have some questions about the app. The app is excellent because you will be able to go in the app and search for attendees, and it will also have their contact information there as well. So you can go ahead, you can search for somebody, they'll have their phone numbers provided, I believe it has their email address as well, so you can find the attendees that you're looking for, especially if you meet somebody while you're there at the conference and maybe you didn't write their phone number down correctly, you can find them in the app as well. And always important to also engage on social media because a lot of people are reaching out to those who are already going to the conference. Particularly, they're using the hashtag NIC Spring 19. If you go ahead and you go into LinkedIn and you look up hashtag NIC Spring 19, you'll see that there's already quite a few posts about that as well. If you have any issues with the mobile app at all, you can email NIC Spring 19 at nic.org. Again, that's NIC Spring 19 at nic.org if you have any questions about the app as well. Now there's going to be a lot going on at this conference. Any last and final tips that you may have for the conference for everybody going?
Have fun.
I just think, yeah, have fun. That's good.
Don't take it too seriously. You're going to meet a ton of people, and it can be easy to make it very serious. But you know, don't overthink it. Plan ahead, set yourself up for success, and then when you get there, do what you need to do and have a little bit of fun. Not too much fun. There are opportunities for too much fun at NIC.
Totally agree. Have a lot of fun. Be responsible. And also just leave it all in the field because, again, 2 times a year you get to see everyone in one location, and this is one of them. So seize the opportunity and have fun, like Bree said.
It's a lot of work, but there's also a lot of play there, too. It's a lot of people who are having a good time and meeting people there as well. Now, I just want to let everyone know that at on the app, you actually will not have email addresses in the app, but you can contact the people directly through the app. So again, please go ahead, go to the App Store and search NIC Spring Forum, and you will find the app. It's the most important thing you can do before you go to the conference. Any last words? All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining us. We will see you in San Diego.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have fun.